Hello, people. Welcome to another fine episode of Who's That Anime with your hosts Steve and Colin.
Whoa!
Continuing our conversation on Steins Gate,
Oh yeah.
the Zero, with episodes what
8 and 9 today.
eight and 9. That's right, because Steins Gate Zero had to start with an episode 0,
Yeah. Whoops.
which screwed it all over. Anyway, yeah. So this is what we're talking about today, and and um don't know how to diverge away from talking about anime now. Pretty much,
That's
it's
good.
hard sometimes.
We'll be on topic. We're talking about episodes 8 and 9 today. Episode 8 is called Dual of Antinomy. Antinomic Dual.
How many words? Why does it need like 50 words in a title?
I don't know. Every one of them is the same.
I mean, let's make something sound like something and then full on overcomplicate it. It's like, you remember the movie Duel of the Nile?
Yes.
That's what that title just reminded me of.
Because it's got the word dual in it.
Because it's got the word duel in it. It's like, oh, Duel of the Nile. Okay.
But it's not dual. It's dual.
Oh, right. It's duel.
Not
in like two.
Yes. Not dual as
Not
in
dual.
fight, but dual as in dual wield.
And not even jewel,
But
as in like a gem.
as in crown jewel, no.
No. Definitely not that either.
And not duo as in dynamic.
Well, no, that's duel.
Yes.
That's not jewel.
Yeah.
And this is jewel.
Yes.
Jewel piston.
This is what we call a homophone.
A homophone.
Yes.
It's like I can learn English.
Yeah. Dual and dual are two words that are spelled differently but have the same sort of pronunciation.
Oh, yes.
Like there, and there.
But yes. And read, and read.
Yes. Exactly.
Stupid English language.
Mm-hmm.
Who thought this language up?
I don't know.
Go away and get shot.
I think there's a lot of people would have to get shot. The thing is that's interesting is that like there are great words in the English language. And I'll give you two great examples. So there's a word in the English language to describe the act of to bend the knee in subservience.
Okay, yeah.
And that word is genuflect.
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 And that's when you bend the knee into servants.
Yeah,
like
so
you're
like
getting
to bow.
knighted.
Like yes, that is to genuflect, to bend the knee. And then there is the word that one of my favorite words, which is defenestrate.
Defenestrate.
Do you know what defenestrate means?
You defend the straightness of people?
I'm gonna give you the dictionary definition because I don't know that you'll believe me.
English language is never really. It's like Steins Gate, confusing and throws you in opposite directions.
So there's two ways to describe it, but I think the sort of historic definition of it is literally to throw someone out a window.
Oh, that one. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember people talking about defenestrate. Yeah. I'm going to defenestrate you out the window for teaching me English.
Yep, there you go.
My native tongue.
It also means to remove from power.
Defenestrate.
Yep.
You threw the king out the window.
I mean, you don't necessarily have to throw him out the window. in order for the king to be defenestrated.
I feel that it should be taken literally,
Well, I mean, you could
and we
defenestrate the
should do
king
that.
by defenestrating him.
Yeah, throw him out a
He
window.
is removed from power by being defenestrated. So he was defenestrated by being defenestrated.
By throwing him out a window.
Yeah.
So, as we were discussing last episode,
Yep.
there's been a time leap,
Yep.
and he appears in the lab, and then Karisu's there, comes out and goes, "Ah, you weird creeple, what are you doing here?" And he's like, "What?" And then he's like, "Yeah, well, you haven't really been here,
Not,
you know,
not since the incident.
not since, not since the incident." And I think then it cuts to the intro, and then it relates that, "Oh yeah, you haven't been here since Mayuri passed." It's like, "Oh, Mayuri? What? No!" And then he gives Carissa a big hug and starts weeping
Yep.
and stuff.
I did feel
And
for him
she's like,
because it's very hard. Like, this is such a kind of a terrible thing to happen because he spent so, like, it's bad enough having Amadeus, who is a constant reminder of the woman who he's let die in order to save the other woman of his life, and now
Mhm.
he loses the other one again, all over again, and gets the other one back all over again.
Yeah, and he's got to like deal with like the entire shift.
Yeah, it's just
It's like
it's too much.
a whole different grieving.
Yeah, again,
Uh,
like it's just it's terrible. Like his mental
yeah,
his mind just must be mush. Like I think we
he
do.
must.
There's a little bit about that in episode 9, like where it talks about sort of the what he's lived through. Uh
Yeah, I mean, certainly this one is that, and then she explains that, and then he asks about the phone wave. Says, "Oh yeah, you destroyed that."
mm-hmm.
Rather than trying to fix things, he ended up destroying that. And it's like, "Oh, all right."
Yep.
Then he's like, I need some air," and she's like, "Okay." So he goes out, and I think he's sitting in the park that they used to sit in, and then Daryl walked by and goes, "Hey, Okabe, what the
Yep.
hell are you doing here?"
Yeah.
And then he kind of comes in and goes, "Whoa, okay, cool." Takes him to Ferris's cafe.
Yep. Where he meets Ruka as well and Ferrets.
Yeah, and Mayuri's cosplay friend,
Yes. Which
the
her
curvy
name
one,
is
curvy girl.
uh,
Mayuri's wife, husband,
Fubuki.
Fubuki.
Yep.
Uh, anyway, so I think it's escalated that basically it's only Chris that's been in the lab.
Yes.
Well,
Yeah, no one else,
Daru.
or no, they've returned, but they're not there frequently anymore.
Yeah, it's stated that he's never returned after
Yeah.
the incident, and just disappeared. Daru was the same, but has started to return on that. So anyway, Daru has words with them. I can't remember exactly what it is. It takes him to Ferris's cafe, and it's like, "Wow, look who's here, dudes! It's Okabe." And Okabe is like, "Oh shit, everyone's here," because Ruka is there. Well,
Yeah.
she's just a customer
It's
hanging
nice.
about,
It
and
is nice that they're all there. Like it. It's funny because it's not really nice for him. It's difficult for him, but for
Mhm.
all of them, it's such a big deal that he's there.
Like he's, yeah, yeah, and then he, yeah, so they're kind of happy to see him that he's kind of all right.
Mm-hmm.
and stuff, and they have the conversation and kind of still mourn for Mayuri, um, and then I think he also. I think at this point they state that Mayuri actually died of a heart attack in this timeline.
Yeah, it is something like that.
Says, "Oh, she died of a heart attack," rather than getting gunned down. And it looks because they certainly have freedom in this timeline. They're not captured or rounded up by the rounders,
No, no, that's right.
which is weird. Um, and then in the cafe, he basically states, yeah, there's another timeline where she's still alive."
Yeah.
And then Dara gets a bit pissy with him,
I
obviously.
was quite surprised at this. Uh,
Yeah,
just like Daru tends to get sort of he can get really serious, but this is probably the first time I've seen him super defensive and angry. Like, and it's not anything for him; it's for everyone else. It's like you can't come here saying things like that when this is all still so fresh for everyone.
yeah, yeah. Certainly says that. Takes him outside,
He
basically. And,
pins him against the wall.
yeah, yeah, he does. And then he then phones Kurisu,
Yep.
and he's like, "Hey, oh, oh, and it's also still New Year's Day, because
Yes.
oh,
They're going to go to the
Happy New
shrine
Year,
later.
yeah,
Yep.
Happy New Year to the people,
Yeah.
Dari, um, long time type thing."
Yep.
And he says, I take it Okabe's been there. He's like, "Oh yeah, he was." Cool. I got upset with him. He said something. And then Chris is kind of like, "Oh, oh, you said that. All right."
Oh.
Kind of takes her coat off, her lab coat off, and then heads out when she's doesn't even seem to say like thanks, goodbye, or anything
No.
to Cohen.
It's just she's gone. I must away.
Yes, I must away. And then Okabe is sitting on some stairs outside the station. I think Akabara station.
Mm-hmm.
And then she says, you found me. Oh, yeah, you're so predictable." I was like, "Yeah, I am. He's really not in the right mind space for it." And then she realizes that, and then she's like, "So, what timeline did you come from?
Yeah.
You time shifted." It's like, "What? How do you know?" And then I think they go back to the lab, and then Chris goes, look, the time wave, the phone wave thing
I rebuilt that ship.
revised.
I did it.
Yeah, you destroyed it. You did destroy it, but I rebuilt it because, well, we got to do this.
Yep. I made it again. Be happy.
Yeah,
Sort of.
yeah. And he's like, "Oh shit, I can't do that again, man. I can't go back in time because I don't know how I got here,
Yep.
and I don't know how to go back." Type thing. Plus, it means that you'd be dead. I can't be doing that. I
Again.
can't sacrifice you for
Again.
again.
Uh,
And then
they go to.
he goes away again.
Do they not go to? Does Kurusu not then take him to Mayuri's grave?
Not quite
Is
yet.
that not
No,
that bit?
he kind of gets some time from that point.
Yeah.
So he goes away again, thought, and he's like thinking about things and living in a internet cafe. I think
Yeah.
he's under some covers and phone rings, and she goes, "Hey, meet me at the trains are still running. Meet me at Akabe station. We've got somewhere to go." And then she takes him to the shrine,
Mm-hmm.
the graveyard, and I don't know. They have a deep, meaningful conversation
Yeah.
about the stuff.
I think she's trying to convince him to go back, to wake up,
Yeah,
to
yeah,
and we get this scene of like this kind of juxtaposition of like the previous scene from the first Steins Gate where Okabe is there to console Mayuri standing at her grand's grave while she holds her hand up to the night sky. And here we have Kurisu taking on Okabe's role, watching him as he struggles at Mayuri's grave.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So yeah, he kind of does that, and then the skies breaks open as it looks like she's shone the light on him, or
Yep.
there's a way to go forward, and he's got his hand up to the sky, like you were saying, like Miuri did. And then the skies break open, and then Daru and everyone else kind of sees that too,
Yep.
because it was like a gloomy day, and it's bright light it shines, and they're all kind of going ah. And then he's like, "All right, let's kind of do it." He kind of she wants what's his name to appear? Hoji Kiyoma appear back.
Hohin Kyoma.
Hoin Kiyoma, yeah. Like you need him. You need him to come back.
Yep.
It's like I don't have that in me anymore. Type thing.
Yeah, he explains it's like that was all just because it made Mayuri happy.
Actually, says, yeah, it did do that.
Yep.
Uh, and then we go back to the lab.
Yeah, this is like I think he's made the decision he's going to do it. Uh, and her kind of parting type of conversation is around like, hey, so don't talk to Amadeus
Yeah,
on the other line. Like, don't try not to.
yeah. Because
Um,
he does mention that he knows about Maho and that. It's just like what? What the
I,
hell? How do you do that?
how can you know that?
Yeah,
Because I do.
it's like it's just how it happened.
Yep.
Um. So yeah. So basically, set it up. Who's got Winamp on the screen?
Yep. He's getting ready to
Oh,
whip the llama's ass.
getting ready to whip that llama's ass. Ah, Winamp.
Uh,
Yeah. Ah. Anyway, and then
kids, ask your parents.
pretty much.
It was
Oh,
24 years ago, Colin.
it was a. It was like the best audio
Yeah,
media player there
it
was at
was
the time.
great. It was really good. In fact, I'd
Yeah.
argue it was really good. It was very good for a very long time, but Windows Media Player got so okay that it didn't matter.
Wow. I mean, it really only was there to play MP3s.
Yeah,
To be honest, it wasn't there for anything else. They tried to incorporate video into the later version, but then that just got bogged down. No one cared about that.
there was a
And then I think,
what was it called? Movie Player Classic MPC.
yeah, I think that was one of them.
That was that and VLC were the only things that could play MKVs.
Yeah, because you had the codecs there. But, don't know when that then merged with something, came like a tried to come like iTunes. Because I think iTunes ended up killing it.
Oh no!
I think it was iTunes, man, because it tried to be like a shop where you
Oh
can buy
no!
or listen to radio, and I think iTunes
That's
just got so popular, and
that's no good.
I mean that's it certainly helped for the downfall of it because it got standardized,
Well,
and then you got streaming services now, so they didn't certainly they didn't help matters either, like
no.
Last.fm and stuff like that, Spotify.
Yeah, it's true. Oh well,
I think that's my take on that.
it's a fair take.
Yeah. Uh. Anyway, yeah. So her parting words is a kiss, essentially,
Yep.
as she then forces his hand to send that message.
Yep. And it's a
Which,
D-mail to herself in the past as well.
yeah,
Well, it is from her, isn't it?
yeah, it must be her phone now.
Because it's
Yeah,
the extended credits. because the last thing that kind of happens in the main normal part of the episode is the button being pressed, or well, sort of happening, and then her running away, and then her deciding to come back like she did the last time. Uh,
I thought she was just running towards the lab.
was she? But she either way, she
Yeah,
gets the message saying "Don't come in."
yeah. That's weird because I don't know if that was like that time when they did that whole thing where she's like, "Oh, all right, I'm away now. See you later. Bye." And they're like, "Oh, let's do this for science." And they have like that big makeout orgy. I wouldn't really call it makeout orgy, but
I don't know what that is, but sure. But yeah,
yeah.
I think like it's
And then
the text message was designed to delay her just a little bit, long enough that he could complete. Because it's not just pushing the button. Because he's got to. Does he not also need to like delete the data from CERN as well? Like there's the whole thing as well as.
well, I don't know. I don't know. If that's it. Just seemed quite simple for him to return
Mm-hmm.
to his timeline, and it was just her running along.
Well, either way, uh, it looks like it works.
Yeah, it certainly looks like it worked because that's the end of that episode. That was pretty quickly discussed.
Yeah, it's
It's really
not a very
sad.
long episode. It is quite sad. Um,
Uh,
it's a bit abrupt.
In what it does, like he's abruptly yanked from one timeline to another and then
Yeah,
yanked back into it.
like it's all over in the space of 20 minutes, and I feel like there's a lot of complex emotions and things that maybe could have been better discussed over a couple of episodes.
Yeah,
Like there was
I
no challenge in getting back.
yeah, I think this is more him just working things out in his head, really. Like, because you'll see in the next episode, he's a bit more uh with it
Yeah,
as it was. He's come to the term with his grief for Krisu and Mayuri. I think in this episode, he's certainly got, oh, like, Chris is back. Oh, great, nice. I get to see my love of my life type thing. But Mayuri's dead, my sister,
yeah,
closest friend, and stuff. And I can't deal with that. And then they go to the shrine, and we didn't really talk about when he got to the shrine. He saw it. He saw the shrine, and he was like, "Oh shit, this is the place. This is Mayuri's shrine."
Mhm.
And he like almost crumbles and looks like he could easily just walked away from it. Then he saw it's just like a shot of his eyes, and he saw the resolve in his eyes. And there's a lot of shots of people's eyes in this episode, in the sense that you see them tearing up and stuff like that to show their immense sadness and realizations and stuff.
yeah.
Um, and then yeah,
Talking about
yeah.
shots
So
shots of
it's
people's eyes, there is literally just a straight up shot of a woman's chest, and I can't remember which episode that's in. It's literally like framed on her chest while she's talking. No face, just
mhm.
boobs.
Yeah, you're right.
I can't remember what it's
I
from,
can't
what
remember.
episode it's in.
I was a bit worried that it might be that one. Was it Chrissy?
Maybe, maybe it was.
It didn't. It was like a couple of frames. It wasn't like a whole conversation. It did move up
You say a couple of
above that.
frames. I don't think it was a couple of frames. It was at least 3 or 4 seconds of just camera.
Uh, possibly, possibly. I
Anyway,
I glazed that over.
what
I
would you
don't.
rate
I
the
don't.
episode?
I'm going. I think an eight. I think it's a bit abrupt and out there in the sense that I don't really know
Yeah,
where it was going. It looks like it was there just to kind of bring Okabe back in and show him dealing with his grief and hopefully pulling his finger out, starting to sort things out.
yeah. I I probably give it a 7. I think it's still a good episode, but it's too rushed. I kind of wanted. It just feels too convenient to have such a huge thing. That's cataclysmic to end back up in that world line, to end back up in that place that you sacrificed so much to leave, and to be reminded of that again is just a lot to deal with in 20 minutes.
It is a heavy episode. I'll stick with an 8. I would say it's not the same world line that he was in before, though. It was like a
Is it not?
it. No, it's this is also a different one where he smashes up the machine, and they seem to have freedom for whatever reason.
It's
Because
interesting.
all the other ones was kind of like they got rounded up and was taken to be property of CERN.
That's weird, yeah, because it
Well,
says the description of the episode says that they're back on the Alpha World line.
he does state it's an alpha world line.
Well, I guess it can still be an Alpha World line without being that same one.
Yeah, because
Because
I think he was
the Beta
always
World line is where we are now, and that's a cataclysmic shift. It's not. Yeah.
yeah. I think he's on this other alpha world line. I think all of Steins was also always on an alpha world line.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the same one.
Yeah.
Because, like I say, they suggest that Mayuri was died from a heart attack
Yeah.
rather than being shot or being hit by a train
Yeah.
or being
Or hit by a
done
car,
by
or
or basically murdered in some way
yeah.
or somehow failed to survive.
Yeah.
Um, but also it's 6 months after all that.
Yeah. Well, that brings us on neatly to episode 9, Pandora of
Mm-hmm.
Eternal Return, Pandora's Box. Uh, yeah. This one
What?
This one picks up exactly again as we've seen, like it's just a straight run. Is as we see at the end of the last episode, Okabe does what he needs to do to jump timelines, um, and
Mm.
he wakes up wearing clothes I've never seen him wear before.
Yeah. Um, and then he kind of runs out and goes,
Yep,
Mayuri!
and then he hears
And
her
then she goes,
voice.
hey, Okabe.
That was, and then Daru's like, "Oh, cool, you're looking all right."
Yeah. You're looking fine.
Yeah,
And I think Suzuha's there with her.
Suzuha's there too.
Or is
Yeah,
it no?
is it
Was it Maho?
Kaguri?
No, it's no, I thought it was Maho.
Is it Maho?
Yeah, Maho was there because he basically goes, am I in the right timeline? Time to test it.
That
Do you know of Carissa? Have you heard the name Carissa?
yeah.
Well, not Carissa, but
It's
what's her name?
Kurisu. Oh fuck.
Carissa.
What's
Yeah.
her full name?
Begins with an M.
Kurisu Makise.
Yeah, Carissa Makase. And so it's yeah, I heard of her. In that AI that Maho was there. And it's like, cool. I think I'm in the right world line then.
Cool. You scared the shit out of me there by saying yes. I know who that is to start with.
Yeah. I think that was in his head.
Yeah. Oh, it was. Yeah.
Um yeah, and it turns out he's blacked out
Yep.
for a while.
That moment where he had the freak out.
Yeah.
After the call from Amadeus, it turns out he just passed out.
Yeah. Apparently just passed out. And then basically I think they leave and state that her other friends also passed out at the same time.
Yeah, Fubuki,
Kabuki, yeah, that's it.
who
I wish.
apparently was talking about Okabe, or Okarin, as she calls him, which is more
Hmm.
of a pet name.
Yeah. Uh, but before that, Maho was like, "Oh, why do you mention Makase's name?"
No reason.
Yeah, and also is how are you getting on with getting access to the AI? And she's like, "Ah, well, it's turns out the servers are hacked, and there was an explosion at Wacko Wacko Land."
That's what we'll call it. I can't remember what the name of it is, so let's just go with Wacko Wacko Land.
Wacko, I think, or Waka. Do
Uh, but yeah,
yeah,
that's right. But it seems like they were able to stop the full hack, at least. So.
yeah. So
Oh, and her hotel room got broken into.
oh yeah, it got messed up.
Yeah.
Yeah, got looked like a burglary in the hotel room. So anyway, they go and see Okabe in the bed in her bed.
Yep.
It's like, oh, that's weird. Okabe's awake, and uh, Fukabe was just talking about you. It's like,
Mabuki.
what? Yeah, Fubuki.
Yep.
And then she's like, yeah, I had this weird dream where I was working. I met him in the maid cafe
Yep.
with Ferris, maid cafe,
Yep.
and I didn't know him. And he's like, oh
Shit.
shit, that's what exactly what I did, and
Uh,
that did happen.
that that
Only
that definitely happened. Damn it.
uh, is that like some weird Steins Gate?
Oh yeah, he thinks
So
that she's got the reading Steiner too.
to a degree, well, I mean, everyone kind of does in a way. I think
His is
this is
more
just
acute though, right?
more. Yeah, he's easily enough to remember that stuff, and he seems to recognize that it wasn't a dream;
Mm-hmm.
it was something that actually happened. But question is, right? Without knowing about the Fubuki,
Uh huh.
Fubuka,
Fubuki.
Fubuki. Without knowing Fubuki had the same dream, how does how did it could easily have been like some comatose episode that you had where you
Well,
fell down and
yep. And imagined it all. That's what I thought.
and mashed
I actually thought that when he woke up in hospital, he hadn't actually travelled.
split.
Yep. I
Yeah,
thought he'd had a bit of an episode.
yeah, and it's possible. And he gets checked out of the hospital. He's
Mm-hmm.
like, "Oh yeah, you can leave, but Fubuki can't
No, she's got to
for some reason."
hang in there. But she's a strong
Yeah,
one. She'll do all right.
yes, that's what Muri says. Aye, Mayuri,
Yep.
says, and then they come to conclusion of like Maho can't go back to her hotel room
No.
and he can't go back to the lab, her lab, and they need a place for her to stay. She's
Yep.
like, so they go to Ferris's place, and she's like, oh wow, yeah, you can stay with me. I'm that'd be so cool.
Yep.
Yeah,
You'll be safe with Meow. Come with Meow. Right, Meow.
yeah,
Lots of Meow.
yeah. Maho meow.
Yep. And it's Maho Meow. And we're gonna you can have a bath and then you can watch a movie and then we'll do some of the things. And then it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, I can't possibly stay with you, type thing. And she was like, no, don't be stupid. You're staying with me. You're you're now my pet hostage.
Yes. Uh she gets very attached to people.
Ferris does,
Yeah.
yeah, she does.
But at least Mao will be
So
safe there.
yeah, there's a question actually.
Mm-hmm.
Is it this one?
Go on.
Or was it last episode or last act for us? There's a scene in it But Ruka's mum has given them food.
Oh shit! It must be the one with the shrine, I think.
Yeah, I think it is. But Ruka's mum has given them food.
Uh huh.
Wasn't Ruka's mum dead in previous Steins case?
I, huh. Maybe.
I thought she was.
I think you might be right.
I think she died giving birth to Ruka.
Huh.
But it definitely states that Ruka mums made them food.
And Ruka's dad wasn't there. He wasn't mentioned.
Oh, Ruka's dad is still
But not in that episode.
no. I thought he was. I thought he was him who was looking after those two guests.
Oh, it was, but that was the episode before.
Yeah, but there's no time leap.
No, that we know of.
Yeah, I
Oh,
mean,
oh God.
essentially, essentially, it seems like Ruka's mum's alive.
Interesting.
I swear she was dead in the original series,
Huh.
but I could be wrong. Anyway, so back to this one. To do that, he goes. He goes back to Braun with a bit more resolve in him.
Yep.
To discuss the
Following up,
boundaries.
following up from yesterday's conversation.
Yeah. Oh, and we totally got the K something seems to be some military signature.
I'm trying to think of the bit with Moeka, where Moeka's in the room. It might be this bit.
Oh yeah, Morika appears well they're all here. Maho and Mayuri is there and she's just like typing away going because he's asked her to look into things
Yeah.
still. And she's like yeah, and then she appears it's like oh, yeah, everything's fine. And it's like, yes, that's right. And it's like, wait, how long have you been here? Oh, I've been here all the time.
Yep.
You've been invisible all this time? Oh, that's really hurtful that
Yep.
I'm invisible. I know I'm quite quiet.
So many
And then,
emojis.
and they just have like a whole text message thing in front of the two people and enough time for Mayuri to make
Make
her
coffee.
coffee.
That's right.
Just enough to make coffee. So here, you want some coffee, Mocha? Here you go. Oh, she's gone.
Yep. It's the
It's like, do you,
I like the fact that it's like I think it's Maho is like, what is it that's going on here? And they're just
yeah.
he goes, it's never mind.
Yeah, they're just like texting away,
It's
going,
so
"What's going
good.
on?"
It's so funny.
And Mayuri and Moa are like, "Oh, do you know her?" And it's like, "Oh, yeah, I do."
Yep. Weird.
Yeah,
Very weird.
that was weird.
But yeah,
And
I think this is the bit where because like you say, he's with Braun. He's kind of pushing him to be more of a team effort and
yeah,
think more about who those people might be that attacked. And as you said, like the code, what is it, K2562 or whatever it is it's a code used in Western world, more likely
military.
military. But he's like, well, maybe if it were me and I was using stuff like that, I probably wouldn't be somebody you would expect. It wouldn't be like a big bad organization or anything like that. So he like kind of narrows it down a little bit for him.
Yeah, wouldn't be CERN. That's
Yeah.
for sure. Anyway, um, and it was mentioned in the previous episode 7, and they were looking up and they're like, oh, maybe it's like Mozart. And then that's where he got the idea of like Amadeus and Professor. Wait, what? Oh, that sounds thing and
That's right.
interesting,
That's right. Yeah.
which we kind of gloss over.
Yeah. That was one of her cosplay friends, wasn't it?
Yeah, yeah, the one that didn't go to hospital,
Yeah.
the one that was with her in the hospital.
It's not sure how
So
relevant that is, because it seems really relevant.
it just springs his mind to Amadeus
Yeah.
and talks. He talks to Moho about that, and she's like, "I don't know, I can't speak to her."
Yeah.
Um, and then I think that's when he gets the call and does the time leap.
Yeah.
So back to this episode. Doodaloo, doodaloo, doodaloo. Pretty much.
Uh,
Wavy lines. And then I think he does that, and then he gets a message from Suzuha.
yep. She wants to talk
Because
to him.
yeah, because Harry mentioned that he's done something, and she's like, "Oh, did he now?" And he thinks this now, and he's
Mm-hmm.
talking about her again. It's like, interesting. So
Yep.
he gets summoned to the roof of the radio building,
Yep.
and
Where the time machine is
basically
cloaked.
she's yeah, for once,
Yep.
and then she basically interrogates him because he's about. It's like, yeah, you know those earthquakes that is coming from Russia or something like that.
Yeah, and it's from the recent earthquakes in America and Russia. It's not what you think. It's them developing time machines. That's what's causing this.
Yeah,
And she's getting
World
really
War
worked up about it.
World War III just around the corner.
Yep.
Like,
And
and
she's like, we don't have time for this anymore, and she just pulls a gun on him.
yeah,
Just quite
she
surprising.
also she does also question him. Did you time leap?
Yeah. And
And he's like,
that's
what?
right. He says, "So what if I did?" And then she's like,
Yeah, pretty much.
"Oh,
Yeah, what is it? What does it matter?
that's
It's
my
like,
trigger
oh,
word."
it's time leap. Yeah. So she pulls the gun out at him and goes, "The fuck?
Yeah,
We got to do this. You come back to me. We're going back to that date. Save Carissa."
I really like this scene
Mm-hmm.
because it is just that bubbling desperation that Sousa has had this whole time since the very start of this series. To just, it's like, all we need to do, you just need to come with me and we fix it. That's all. It's all that needs to happen, and it's going to be just fine. So that's what we're going to do. And he's like, no, I don't want to do that. So she's now been living with that, but is now sort of, due to recent events, just feels like the only option is to force him at gunpoint into the time machine. And it's because of course he's like, well, I'm not going. So, and then of course the next thing we hear is a gunfire. You're like, oh
Yeah,
no.
yeah. I was part of that is down to he basically says he can't he can't be doing this. He can't be he can't be choosing. How can you make that
Yep.
choice? You can't make that choice
Yeah.
type thing. It's impossible. I can't choose between these two people.
How can you guarantee the outcomes? You don't know that. Like, we've arrived at outcomes, but it's not a guarantee. Like, it's through. It's this is the part where it's like it's a war of attrition. It's like you have no idea what I've done and what I've sacrificed to be where I am right now. It's not a single decision. It's
Yeah,
hundreds of decisions made, or the same decision made 100 different ways. It's just constant sacrifice. Uh,
yeah,
and it sort of, I think it tests her faith a little bit in the concept, because of course her whole core belief, the whole reason she's been sent back in time by her dad, is that she'll be able to fix it if she acts the right way. And
yeah,
it's just not
yeah.
doing it. But very fortunately for Okabe, that was just a warning shot, and she just grazed his cheek a little.
I mean, Jesus, I'm pretty sure you get a bullet across your cheek. they didn't leave a cut. They probably leave a burn mark,
Oh yeah.
a friction.
Uh,
It'd be a hell of a lot worse than what appears on the screen.
it's
I
bad.
thought.
It's the surprise
Uh,
where he says he's like, "You shot me,"
yeah.
and she's like, "Well,
Like,
I
holy
don't
shit.
have any other choice now, do I?"
Very much. And then Daru, and she threatens to like actually do a real shot.
Yeah.
Then Daru comes up and goes, "Aha! I thought you'd be here, but you got to listen to him. He's kind of right. You can't be doing that because you have no idea. I've I've read up on the time things, and it's all just chance.
Well, he says he's like, "Why do you think I've been looking so much into this thing?" He's like,
Yeah,
"Why don't you put down the gun and just trust me? I'll figure it out." Like, I really like that because it's Daru's casual sort of attitude put to a use for a change.
yeah. He's talks her down, and she's basically on her hands and knees, crying, going, "I don't know anymore."
Oh, it's heartbreaking. She full on
It's
loses it.
she feel on confused now. It's like she
Uh,
doesn't know what's to believe anymore,
What's
which is
tough?
literally what she states.
Well, it's super
Yeah.
tough because she's back there doing what she's doing because of her dad, and yet her dad has just told her it's going to be okay and not to do what she thinks she needs to do. And I think
Yeah.
she's just tired of having the weight of that. It's not.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And she says as much. It's like it's not fair. Like and as Okabe said, it's like you can't make that decision. It's like she felt that was her decision to make. She was the only one who could make that happen, and it's
Mm.
just eventually it's taken its toll mentally, and she's
Yep.
just exhausted.
Yeah. Uh, and then what happens after that?
We go back to Mr. Braun because he's figured something out.
Well, has he?
Yeah, this is where he and Okabe talk about who he thinks the organization is that sent the team.
Is it him or I thought it was Suzuha?
No, he talks about it's
Basically, that
Derp.
one.
He talks about Derpa.
Dorper, yeah.
Derpa.
I've heard of that. That's an actual thing.
It's one letter out. Yep.
Is it?
Yeah, it's DARPA.
Darper.
Yeah, it's a
Dorper? I
it's
think.
it's a military defense project for a technology project
Yeah.
or team,
Well,
and it's the same thing here.
yeah. Um, and he's looked into it, and I think it's the same universities that the professor's in, and it's like Stanford, and it's like, oh, well, they could easily hack into our systems and stuff like that. He actually starts seeing Chris in the background at this point,
Yeah. Well, this
going
is
through, oh,
yeah, because this is the part where we kind of get to the theory that the reason they might be looking for uh, Kagari, or for Amadeus rather, is because
mm,
Kurisu had time machine theories in this timeline too,
yeah,
and they want to
before,
extrapolate that information from the AI.
yeah, yeah, but before she has met Okabe and the
Yes.
gang,
Yeah.
because Okabe and the gang, it's basically opened that world to her.
Yep.
Um, uh, is that there's a scene where he goes to Moho
Oh,
in the flat.
yeah, and it's an absolute bomb site.
Yeah, it's like, wait, you only been here a day,
It's like,
and
well,
then
I
he
have to
does.
work here. God damn it.
Yeah, he seems to tidy it up, and they have like discussion. It's like, oh yeah, it might be quite easy for him to get into our servers
Yep.
type thing and
And yeah,
stuff like that.
he explains the theory as well, is that, he believes that Kurusu had those theories and that that's what these people want, and that's why they're trying to get Amadeus. And he kind of is like, you don't happen to have any of like Kurusu's research or anything like that? She's like, no, nothing like that,
Yeah,
except this
nothing like that.
laptop.
That I can't tell you right. That's the end of the episode. Ends on that laptop.
Yeah, it does end on the laptop with Makise Kurusu as the sign in.
Yeah,
She could just
and
take that to anybody, I'm sure, and they would be able to hack into it.
yeah, I think so. I was also there's a scene where Suzuha and Darius are is sleeping in the time
In the
machine,
time machine, that's right. Because
and
they're.
it makes me think that they've time hop.
You think?
Well, certainly Suzuha says, "Oh, there's no juice left in the tank," type thing.
She says there's not enough. There's maybe enough juice to do 1 or 2 more days.
Yeah,
And he says, what happens if we run out of juice mid jump?
yeah, and I suppose you just go outside the vent horizon, and it'll be like this peaceful time.
Yeah.
Hopefully,
And he's like, well,
she hopes that it's that.
could be worse.
Yeah. But she's been looking for the kid.
Yes, that's why she used all the juice.
Yeah. But I don't know if he's himself has
Doing it.
been going with her.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Don't know.
Who's to say that he's not actually older and wiser than the thing? You know, it'd be like Bill and Ted and their way of learning all the knowledge really quick.
Doing it later.
Yeah. Like the end of Bogus Journeys where, you know what we should do? We should use the time machine, go back in time, and do like 8 years of guitar training or something. I can't remember how long. All I know is they end up with 2 kids, so it's over 9 months.
Yep.
Uh, married the princesses.
Yep.
Uh, grown big ZZ Top beards,
Yep.
and
I love those
started
movies.
rocking out.
I love those movies.
Um, and all with the whim of oh, say if we knew this was happening, we would have the time machine and we would do all this and all that. And
We would have
so
already done
that's
it.
how the
Yeah.
yeah, it's like how they broke out the jail cell. We knew we were going to get captured, so we went in the time machine and planted a key. Or yes, there it is. Or we knew you were going to come and kill us, so we planted a big trip rope that you walk over and get smacked.
That's so amazing. So, so
Yeah.
good. So, so good.
Ah.
Well, that's the end of this episode. Oh my god, yawning. Tired.
Yeah.
How,
Let's go on to midnight.
how did you find that?
I'm going to stay with an 8. It's not bombshell dropping. It's progressing.
Mm-hmm.
It's moving us forward. There's thoughts and thinkings behind all the whole thing. But yeah, it's good. I think 8. I think it's certainly moving in the right direction
Yeah.
of causing more confusion.
I.
It's like now they're throwing in the earthquakes and that's like the time
God.
leaps, and he's like, oh shit, that's the time leaps. That's what made me time leap. I'm still
Fuck.
connected to it all. It's still
Fuck.
in an unstable universe. It's
I.
like the movie where he was like slowly shaking himself out of existence.
That's right. Yeah, I would say I think an eight's fair. I think the scene on the rooftop with Suzuha, Okabe, and Daru is really good. Like it's a real standout sequence.
Yeah, it's certainly the memorable moment of that episode.
I also the kind of bit at the start where he wakes up and they discover that other girl has been unconscious too is kind of an interesting side note.
Yeah,
So there must be
what's the
something going on
chances
there.
of two people going unconscious at the same time?
Hey,
Weird.
it's definitely not that new kind of encephalopathy.
Oh, Fubuki's the Masked Rider. She is. It's from the future.
Oh my god. Amazing.
She is. Totally is.
That's it. You've decided.
Or all three of them are the elite agents,
Elite Beat
and
Agents.
elite beat agents. ACDC cops or whatever they're called.
Well,
What was it? Bubblegum Crisis.
Bubblegum Crisis. Shit. On that note, we've done it. We've made it to another episode, through another episode of Who's That Anime, which
Hmm?
leaves us to say Who's That Anime is an anime podcast and can be found at our home of anchor.fm/ Who's That Anime. We can be downloaded and listened to where all good podcasts can be found. That's Google Podcast, Apple Podcast, Overcast, Pocket Cast, Audible, Spotify, Amazon Music, Stitcher, all the fun places. We don't get paid for any of this. There's no adverts. There's no nothing. We just, pay our own way. You can interrupt me. Go for it.
Yeah. When you say Stitcher and
Yes.
then use the term all the fun places,
Yeah.
that doesn't sound right. It sounds like Stitcher is a place where, you know, like Fight Club, and you come out and you got like stitches,
It's just a podcast place.
and they give you stitches.
I don't know. I don't know where the name came from.
What? What's the hell of it? That's a weird ass
I
name,
don't
man.
know.
Stitcher.
I don't know.
It's like, come here and we'll make sure you'll get some stitches in you. Paper ones, string ones, metal ones,
I'm pretty sure that is their
staples.
tagline.
Yeah,
Yeah, at the end of every episode. Just adds that.
that this if you're on it, we'll get that extra bit on it. So
I'm gonna fuck you up.
don't worry.
Yeah.
That's not us.
Yeah, we're not threatening
That's
you.
just it.
It's just Stitcher.
No, it's just Stitch the podcast um platform.
Yeah. We don't make any money from this, and I wonder why. But if you would so much as care to leave us a review, that would be amazing. 5 stars always welcome. Anything less than 5 stars with some lovely constructive criticism, also very much welcomed. And again, if you like what we do, it'd be really super awesome if you maybe told a friend and got them involved and listening to the show too. We have a Facebook page. That's facebook.com/ Who's That Anime. We have the highlights of when a new episode comes out and the occasional anime meme that you'll find there. We have a Discord. That is in the link for the show notes. You'll be able to find that there and come and join in the conversation around pretty much any anime, manga, etc., etc. Colin and I occasionally like to play video games. You can find Colin at twitch.tv/couchfuel and myself at twitch.tv/hailpayman. Both of those have accounts on YouTube and channels where you can see the archives of all of the fun games we've played. I have put links to all of those in the show notes too. And I think
Yeah.
that is us.
Yeah. Did we mention our YouTube channel?
I did not. I fucked up the intro. We have a YouTube channel.
Outro.
That too.
I interrupted you.
It's all right.
Oh.
It's all right. We'll keep let's just keep it going. Keep it going. So yeah, we have a YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel is where we put up the video versions of this podcast. We have been, I say we, Colin has been working very hard to put up all of the episodes, and I believe that we are now in the point where we're going to be seeing Steins Gate episodes coming live.
Well, yeah. Steins Gate's episodes are coming live, but we're now moving on past that. Well, not past that, but it's our bonus episode. I'm going to
Yeah.
be Pokemon. Our Pokemon episode it was recorded like months back, months before Steins Gate.
That was recorded almost a year ago.
Oh,
Yep.
it's still a few good couple of months, man. That was like October, November, man. It's only the start of August.
Yeah. 10 months is very
Still,
close to a year.
I mean,
To be fair, that one is more
technically,
out of sequence than the others.
yeah, that's kind of out of sequence out of sequence. It's even for us out
Yeah,
of sequence.
because that episode was released in December or November last year.
Yeah, and I didn't find it fitting into anything else really.
Nah, it's fine. I'll look forward to that one going live. I might rewatch that one because that is one where we had special guest Robbie of Pokemon fame. He knows all about Pokemon and how terrible it can be.
He did, yeah.
Oh yeah,
He does. I should say.
he
Should say he
does.
does.
Oh no, he still knows. He still knows it's not good. Also, if you did want to listen to other episodes of the podcast that Robbie was on, in the week where Colin could not attend, we did Vampire in the Garden. So that is also available as a bonus episode.
Yeah, and that will be on the YouTube channel at some point.
Yeah.
I just need to squeeze that one in again.
Awesome.
Probably after the next Steins
Steins
one.
Gate. Cool. Well,
Yeah.
and I think
Yeah.
that is, in fact, us.
It is. That's us. And I think it's time to say good night, everyone. It's a good night from him.
Yeah, all right. Good night.
And a good night from me. Oh, and same any time, same any place.
We'll be back next time to talk about episodes
Yeah.
10 and 11.
10 and 11. See you night.
Bye, folks.
Bye.
Good night.
Bye. Bye.